Hello and welcome back to another Merlin market update with two of your favorite Merlin friends. We've got the man Johnny Krypto joining us, and I am Abs, your host for today's episode. Johnny, today we're going to be talking about American adoption of crypto assets, but I want to remind our listeners that this space is brought to you by Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto, and we're going to briefly cover some of the asset prices. Today, Bitcoin's sitting at 67,600, Ethereum is 3770. We've got Solana trading at 167 and XRP trading at about 52 cents today. And Johnny, we'll waste no time. We'll get straight into these articles. As the U.S. lawmaker at center stage, Patrick McHenry predicts digital asset law will be passed in the U.S. by the end of 2024. So we're going to see massive change inside the United States. What does all this mean to you? And how are you connecting this to the prices on the crypto charts today?
Well, Abs, this is fascinating because we know that the biggest impediment that's been holding crypto back is the regulation and legislation. We need it really bad. And we have not really seen Congress make the effort that we would have thought we would have gotten over the past several years to get there. But now you've started to see some pro-crypto friendly senators, particularly like here, Senator McHenry or Congressman McHenry, who's been really, really pro-crypto. And I'm very, very happy to see that he is pushing it. Him, and there's a list of about 10 or so pro-crypto senators or congressmen that I encourage everybody follow Abs, and we should we can put that list up or put it down below the video. But definitely this is very, very promising for the crypto industry. We need pushing of this crypto regulation out into the world for being able to get adoption. So I'm very, very excited to see that we're starting to hear senators talk and that they believe now or predicting that we'll finally get some legislation either end of this year or early next year, because man, it's been a long 4 years of pain.
It's another example of show me the chart and I'll tell you the news, Johnny Krypto. And as we look at the Bitcoin price chart here, not only are we reaching our fair value mark, we are reaching all-time high prices, and we are about to break out and retest new all-time highs, maybe reaching $100,000. It's going to take new liquidity, and this is where our next article comes into play. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse foresees XRP, Solana, and Cardano ETFs happening inside the United States. And this prediction came just this week during Consensus 2024. The direct quote was, "I think it's just a matter of time, and it's inevitable. There's going to be an XRP ETF, there's going to be a Solana ETF, and there's going to be a Cardano ETF." And that's great for the industry. The Ethereum ETF made an abrupt and unexpected progress just last week. And I think this is a great point to highlight here, because just 2 weeks ago, it was consensus that the Ethereum ETF would be denied, and that was approved. And right now, it seems like altcoins are going through that same, I guess, rough patch where people feel like many of these products will not get approved. I think we could see a complete 180 from many of the regulatory agencies when it comes to these assets. And Brad Garlinghouse probably knows better than we do. But as we saw today, Brad Garlinghouse is still very outspoken against Gary Gensler, stating that Gary Gensler's been called to Congress, and when asked if Ethereum was a security, he will not answer. Yet he insists that the rules are very clear and don't need updating. So regardless of what Gary Gensler says, many of these products may be approved in the next 12 months in the USA. What do you take away from this, Johnny?
Well, Abs, this has been another historic week for crypto. We've had a judge ruling against the SEC, if you remember in the debt box case, kind of slapping them for doing that. Now we've got the ETH ETF passed, which everybody said wasn't going to happen, and here it is. So we got the Bitcoin ETF a few months ago. This week we've got the Ethereum ETF. Now this is more. What's the word? This is actually, Abs, more important than the Bitcoin ETF. Everybody knew that Bitcoin was not a security. Gary even came out and said, we're not questioning it. There's no entity. It doesn't fit the Howey rules. We knew Bitcoin was going to get it. So that was no surprise. ETH, on the other hand, Abs, was a major, major challenge, because we know that we've been talking about it ourselves. Is it a security? Is it not a security? Is it security? Is not a security? One day it's security, one day it's not security. You have no freaking clue. And all of a sudden now what happened? Boom. It just became an ETF. So now it has some level of, I don't want to say clarity, but it certainly opens the door for other ETFs like what Brad's talking about here. And we've been saying for a while, we always thought they'd be coming, but saying it and actually seeing it happen are two different things. And to me, this is extremely significant, Abs, Because if you're going to allow an Ethereum altcoin ETF, well, Ethereum's an altcoin. How do you now make the argument if you're the SEC to say, oh, I'm going to let ETH go, but then I'm not going to do Cardano, or I'm not going to do Solana, or I'm not going to do XRP? How do you make that argument? You're going to lose. So for me, this was the day that you could probably go back in history, or this week, and say, you know what? This was the beginning of the ETF launches, is I think we're going to see a bunch of them flooding in starting, this next quarter, and maybe moving on from this point forward.
And right as Bitcoin is about to break its all-time high, we're getting positive headlines and correspondence, Johnny. This is why we talk about having an exit plan, because this simple chart that Raul Paul posted on his Twitter breaks down crypto spring, summer, winter, and fall. We are clearly in the midst of a crypto summer. That is the second most optimistic time for the market. The most optimistic time is actually crypto fall, which takes place at the middle of 2024 through the middle of 2025. And that's what we're on the precipice of here, guys. We could have some massive momentum heading into the crypto market through the end of this year. And that's why we always talk about having an exit plan. Merlin allows you to create an exit plan. Use our application, 30 days, absolutely free. Get an exit plan, figure out exactly what your profits and losses will need to be in order for you to reach your financial goals this bull run. And one of the biggest mistakes people make when they're entering this bull market is getting greedy with their price targets. Simply writing them down and knowing when you're going to be exiting the market gives you a huge advantage over the average retail investor. And that's why we present these shows, and that's why we talk about this product every day. So try it out, 30 days, absolutely free, on the precipice of a massive bull run. The best thing you can do right now is create a plan for yourself. So Johnny, any closing words on what you think we could see for the next year and a half?
Abs, everybody's looking for an advantage to get ahead in the marketplace. And there you go. You just described how they can do it. Have yourself an exit plan. That alone will give you an advantage, because most people don't have one. And in terms of the answering your question, what do I see this year? I really see I'm so optimistic about this year from a crypto perspective. I think there's so many good things on the precipice about to happen. We're looking at adoption happening in some places, some countries. We're hearing talk about regulation. We're seeing ETFs being approved. We got the Bitcoin one done. We got the Ethereum one done. We're hearing talks of regulation. I mean, there's so many positive catalysts coming, Abs. I can't tell you how excited I am for it. And I'm also excited that we've got Merlin out there so people can take advantage of these, as we move into crypto fall, as you rightfully showed on the charts. You can see that in crypto fall, it seems like that's when we peak out. Well, guess what, Abs? I'm going to have my exit plan ready, and I'm going to be selling in crypto fall if we start getting historical numbers like we've had in the past.
And here's just a little insight into what Merlin provides here, guys. Creating an exit plan, knowing exactly what your profits and losses will be, while also giving you some tax estimates here so you know what to pay the big man on the sidelines. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, smash that like button, leave a comment down below the video. We appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you all have an amazing week as well as an amazing weekend. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.